This is Land of Havilah, Job 15. Job just finished a 3-chapter response. All his friends have spoken, and now it's time to begin round 2. All his friends will speak again in the same order, and Job will answer them each time as he did before. Verse 1. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered, Should a wise man answer with vain knowledge and fill himself with the east wind? Should he reason with unprofitable talk or with speeches with which he can do no good? Yes, you do away with fear and hinder devotion before God. For your iniquity teaches your mouth, and you choose the language of the crafty. Your own mouth condemns you, and not I. Yes, your own lips testify against you. Comment, Eliphaz is indignant. He's in a philosophical rage. In verses 1 to 6, he says, Job is a man of vain knowledge and filled with the east wind. The east wind appears 18 times in the Old Testament. It's always destructive. It's hot, causes crops to wither, causes famine, brought locusts into Egypt, scatters, comes in rough blasts, and figuratively it causes general failure. Eliphaz says Job's mouth is filled with iniquity and cunning, that he needs the fear of God, and that he condemns himself with his mouth. Eliphaz goes on, verse 7. Are you the first man who was born, or were you brought out before the hills? Have you heard the secret counsel of God? Do you limit wisdom to yourself? What do you know that we don't know? What do you understand which is not in us? With us are both the gray-headed and the very aged men, much elder than your father. Comment, Eliphaz says, Job, you speak as if you're our elder, as if you're old as the hills and have all the wisdom to go along with it. There are men alive today much older than even your father. Has God held a secret meeting with you and imparted wisdom to you he kept from us? Verse 11. Are the consolations of God too small for you, even the word that is gentle toward you? Comment, Eliphaz thinks the consolations the friends have offered Job are the gentle consolations of God. He's offended that Job didn't receive them. But what Eliphaz considers gentle consolations were more like a series of beatings. Remembering that Job said he was righteous, Eliphaz says, verse 12, Why does your heart carry you away? Why do your eyes flash, that you turn your spirit against God and let such words go out of your mouth? What is man that he should be clean? What is he who is born of woman that he should be righteous? Comment, now speaking of God, verse 15, Behold, he puts no trust in his holy ones. Yes, the heavens are not clean in his sight. How much less one who is abominable and corrupt, a man who drinks iniquity like water. Comment, in verses 15 and 16, Eliphaz says that compared to God, angels are untrustworthy and heaven impure. How much less pure are you, Job? You're abominable, corrupt, and fill yourself with iniquity like it's water. Verse 17, I will show you, listen to me, that which I've seen I'll declare, which wise men have told by their fathers and have not hidden it, to whom alone the land was given, and no stranger passed among them. Comment, Eliphaz says, I'll tell you what I've seen. It's the same as what's been passed down to us through the generations, starting with the original inhabitants of the land. It's the wisdom of all time, the wisdom of the ages. Coming up in the next 16 verses, Eliphaz's wisdom of the ages is essentially that the wicked man is his own worst enemy, that he always does poorly, which seems accurate to a degree, that the wicked keep shooting themselves in the foot more times than not. But Eliphaz ignores that we also see the wicked prosper and the righteous suffer. Verse 20, The wicked man writhes in pain all his days, even the number of the years that are laid up for the oppressor. A sound of terrors is in his ears. In prosperity the destroyer shall come on him. Comment, if the wicked prospers, it won't last long, according to Eliphaz. Verse 22, He doesn't believe that he shall return out of darkness. He's waited for by the sword. He wanders abroad for bread, saying, Where is it? He knows that the day of darkness is ready at his hand. Distress and anguish make him afraid. They prevail against him as a king ready to the battle. Comment, the wicked man's always knotted up inside like a king preparing for battle. His stomach's always churning as if life is a war. Why? Verse 25. Because he has stretched out his hand against God and behaves himself proudly against the Almighty. He runs at him with a stiff neck, with the thick shields of his bucklers, because he has covered his face with his fatness and gathered fat on his thighs. Comment, Eliphaz says the wicked man takes up a shield against God and charges at him, as in battle, like a fat, out-of-shape king who's too proud to realize that he has no business on the battlefield. The wicked man, verse 28. He's lived in desolate cities, in houses which no one inhabited, which were ready to become heaps. Comment, the wicked man is lonely, empty, and everything that's his is decrepit and ready to collapse. Verse 29. He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall their possessions be extended on the earth. He shall not depart out of darkness. The flame shall dry up his branches. By the breath of God's mouth shall he go away. Let him not trust in emptiness, deceiving himself, for emptiness shall be his reward. It shall be accomplished before his time. Comment, he'll be ruined in his own lifetime. Still in verse 32. His branch shall not be green. He shall shake off his unripe grape as the vine, and shall cast off his flower as the olive tree. For the company of the godless shall be barren, and fire shall consume the tents of bribery. They conceive mischief and produce iniquity. Their heart prepares deceit. Comment in verses 33 to 35, the wicked man's grapes will drop off before they ripen, and the flowers of his olive tree will fall prematurely, which will mean no olives. He'll be barren. Anyone involved in bribery will see his tent go up in flames. The wicked plots mischief, iniquity, deceit, and carries through with it. Job will respond in Job 16 next at landofhavilah.net.